In Helena, the two most prominent buildings are the cathedral and the Capitol. As Catholics, we need to live our faith out in both. Hi everyone, Matt Brower with the Montana Catholic Conference. I think there are many in our country who are very frustrated with the state of politics, and I suspect there may be Catholics who are feeling politically homeless. I understand that. I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing, because making wise and prudent decisions regarding issues of politics and policy, and making those decisions in light of our faith, it can be a complicated process, and the answers aren't always easy. No major political party fully reflects in its platform or in its actions the fullness of Catholic social and moral teaching. And so we're left to make decisions that are often difficult and without clear answers, despite what some might say. Those who suggest that applying our principles to our political choices will always result in easy and clear decisions are selling short the richness and depth of our Catholic faith. For those of you who are struggling regarding what to do in our upcoming elections, my suggestion is to continue praying, continue discerning, continue drawing closer to Christ and His Church. Listen to the shepherds that God has provided us and reject the temptation to retreat from engaging in politics. It's important that we recommit to bringing our voice into the public square as Catholics. It's not just our right to do so, it's our duty, it's our obligation. Now, where does that obligation come from? Well, it comes from our baptism, from our baptismal commitment to follow Jesus Christ and to bear witness to Him in all that we do. We proclaim the truth into every crevice of creation and into all aspects of human life, including our politics. Faith isn't something that's just lived within the four walls of a church. It's something active, dynamic, and powerful. Consider what Jesus said to His disciples about faith. He said that if you had faith the size of a mustard seed, you could tell that mountain to get up and move, and it would do so. Faith is powerful. It's transformative. It can change the world in profound and wonderful ways. Our engagement in public life, it's motivated. It's compelled by our love for one another, our commitment to uphold the dignity of every human person, and to promote the conditions in society that will allow all people to reach their fulfillment. In a previous video, I spoke about the danger of falling into a sense of hopeless indifference when it comes to our engagement in the political process, and the spiritually destructive consequences of sliding into that sort of fatalistic thinking, where we become disinclined to make judgments about justice and mercy, or act to promote good and avoid evil. This is poison for our souls. In Dante's Inferno, there's a fascinating but chilling scene where Virgil leads Dante to the gates of hell, where Dante hears the suffering cries of the uncommitted souls, those who in life didn't make conscious moral choices. They are denied entry to both heaven and hell, because in a sense, they are persons who were never even alive. Pope Francis has mentioned a transcendent dimension to the way that we treat others. So consider, the measure with which you measure will be measured out to you. Whatever you did for the least of these, you did to me. Investing ourselves concretely in the just structuring of society through our involvement in politics impacts not just those around us, but our own souls. It grows love in our hearts, and that love is impossible to contain. It bursts forth and transforms the world, one loving act, one relationship at a time. Instead of seeing social ills as unsolvable problems, the loving heart sees an endless opportunity to serve as an instrument of God's grace. So our engagement in politics is more than just our right or our obligation. It's a great responsibility, and it's a tremendous gift that we should not take for granted. Pope Francis and before him, Pope Benedict, they've both said that the church, meaning you and me, the church cannot and must not sit on the sidelines in the fight for justice. We owe it to ourselves, to our children, and to all of society. We owe it to God to bring those consistent principles and that moral framework that we have as Catholics into the political process. That, along with the real-life experience we have as a church, feeding the hungry, helping expectant mothers in need, caring for the sick and dying, educating young people, that real-life experience should be a key ingredient in our politics and in our policy making. And this challenge is posed primarily again to you and to me, the lay faithful. Certainly our bishops and priests have the same rights and obligations as other citizens do to do things like vote, but their primary responsibility here is to help form us, the people in the pews, in the moral and social teachings of our church, so that we can then go out into the world to share that vision and help shape the moral character of our country. So my encouragement to you is to live your faith by bringing the truth and goodness of your Catholic faith into your political decision-making, and vote well. Do the hard work of voting well. And I say hard work because it doesn't take much to fill out a ballot and return it. The real work, the virtue, is discovered and grown in the study, prayer, and humble discerning that occurs leading up to voting, and the advocacy, service, and prayer that follows after your vote has been cast. It's in that work that you can draw closer to Christ and breathe hope and truth into a broken world, ultimately helping lead the world closer to Jesus. I urge us to accept that great call and responsibility and embrace the challenging work of being faithful citizens. This is our faith. This is the faith of our church, and we should be proud to profess it. I want to thank you for watching the video today, and I hope you'll join me next time.